welcome back to another episode of College Mom Dropouts Podcast, where we dive into motherhood, real life, and everything in between. Okay, I'm Monty Mills.
And I'm Erica.
And today we have a really special guest with us, our first guest, actually, Miss Cyrene, TV personality, influencer, beauty, obviously, model.
Gorgeous.
Need to be.
Yeah, needs to be model. Oh my God. Yeah.
I love it. But we're going to be having a nice chat today with Miss Cyrene. But of course, first we have to start off with our mom load. So what is your mom load for this week?
My mom load. So, and I was kind of telling you this, but my mom load is this week, my 11-year-old stood up to his bully in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
That sounds so movie-like. He stood up to his bully, and he really did. And I got a call at the end of the day, and they was like, hey, Carter's in the office, and da-da-da-da. And I was just like, so this happened in the lunchroom? Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, yeah. We told him to do that, because we did. Mm-hmm. He's smaller for his age. He's in 5th grade, but he's small. Mm-hmm. And so these kids are picking on him for all types of things. I'm just like, buddy, you have to stand up.
Kids are so mean.
They're so mean. And I was like, listen, go for the jugular. Whatever you got to do, okay? You got to let them know you can't mess with me no more. So when they call me from the office like they did, I would gladly tell them I gave you permission to say whatever you felt that you needed to say. And I was like, all right, man. So
okay, well, kudos. I love that. I love that.
That's my mom love. It's kind of, it might be terrible, but yeah, I mean.
No, I feel like we got to fight for our babies and let them know how to stick up for themselves. So that's cool. So what is your mom I don't feel like I don't have a big one. I guess I'm still last week. I told you guys that Aiden got kicked off the bus. So I'm just kind of still dealing with, this is the first time as a mom that I've stood firm in my punishment. Like, we not cool. My son, usually we best friends. And I really had to put my foot down because I feel like he's been trying me and with his actions, he's not getting it together. And I feel like it's because we talked last week about how these kids need their butt whipped. I'm not whipping butt. So I feel like he's taking for a joke. So, just kind of still navigating that space of making sure that I'm not letting him off the hook easy this time. So that's been different because I miss my boy, I miss laughing Kiki, but we haven't been. Yeah, but I ain't no punk either. So, yeah, for sure. So that's my mom load for the week.
So I know you're not yet a mom.
Right. Mm-hmm. But I know you got some fur babies. Anything happened with the fur babies this week?
For the fur babies, it's really just one of them. Mm-hmm. She just terrorizes the neighborhood.
What kind of dogs?
Mini golden doodle, mini
labradoodle. Oh, I have a mini doodle.
I have a poodle.
And she has a poodle.
I got the purebred.
Oh, okay.
The purebred.
I mean, it is.
Yes, I got a mix.
But she does terrorize the neighborhood. But she's adorable, so
yeah.
Kind of.
Is she? How old is she?
She'll be 3 in May.
Okay, so she's like my blue. He's 4, but he's pretty calm now. I'll say but I hear girl dogs are different.
Oh, she don't play.
I hear girl dogs are different.
She don't like young black girls. That really sets her off.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't quite.
Did they do something to her? Have you looked into it?
You said nieces, nephews, some terrorizing?
We do have split custody, so I don't know what happens when they're with their other dad.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Somebody did something to that baby. And you need to do like I did.
CPS.
And tell her to say what's on her my list. Let's just get it.
I love it. Well, look, we are so excited to have you on the podcast because this podcast is not just for moms. It's for all women with a story that's killing, the role of just balancing life and whatever else is going on. Yeah. So we're excited to have you on the podcast. I saw recently you was doing some dress shopping.
Yes.
How was that?
It was fun, y'all. I got engaged in 2022. Okay. We got engaged in Dubai. It was amazing. Mm-hmm. Literally the best day of my life. Mm-hmm. And just due to just life and different family stuff, we haven't been able to plan the way we wanted to plan. If in my world, in my perfect world, I would have been engaged, married the next year.
Straight to the altar. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we both want something really extravagant. Mm-hmm. We both had, different things happen. So it was exciting to just go with my mom and finally get feel that excitement. Feel that spark again.
Right.
So it was really, really nice. It was fun.
That's cool.
I think it's good to point that out too because for example, Erica, I know you was engaged.
Forever and a day. Mm-hmm. So it might be for real a soft spot for my husband when he listens to this because we got engaged in 2015. No, 14. I don't even want to say when we got married.
That's okay.
It's a judgment.
It's okay.
We got married in 2021.
Okay.
2021, we got married. We had kids. And got married. So really what it was is our vision was not the same for how we wanted a wedding. He was just like, no, I just want to go to the courthouse. And so when the money started, because, you know, they say like the average cost of a wedding, well, then it was like 30,000. I don't know about now. It's probably more.
Yeah.
And so he was like, now, mind you, we had already bought a house. So I was like, why are we talking about this? We bought a house and everything. But he was like, we can put that towards the house and we can do all these trips you want to take and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fine, I'm discouraged now. But it was like every time we would start and stop.
Yeah, that's
so
very similar.
That's
very
what we
similar,
would do. So I got my dress. My dress is just sitting in the closet now. I didn't want to sell it because now we're married and we end up just doing a small, my best friend, our kids, that's it. And it was fine. We said we'll do a vow renewal. But right now we're just chilling. Like, we have so many things going on in life. And some days I do regret not putting on the dress and having the day and everything like that. So if you want that, I say do it.
Oh no, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Don't be like, I'm going to the courthouse. No, do it.
No, for sure.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it shake. 2026. We're gonna make it shake.
I love that. But I feel like even with that, though, I feel like there's always still, like, even though I feel like my wedding day was perfect, there's little moments where I'm like, oh, but I wish this was different. I wish that was different. So even I feel like, and so there's like me looking forward to my vow renewal because of what I wanted to be different. So anyways, I just say that to say, like, I feel like it's okay for you to feel like, oh, I wish I would have put, you know, you still have that opportunity, like you said with your vow renewal, to put on your dress. Okay.
I don't know if it's that dress. I be thinking, like, I need to sell and the dress was so expensive, y'all. Oh my God, it was so expensive. That's probably why he was like, if this dress was this much, this wedding is about to go crazy.
Yeah.
But I love weddings.
So how was that journey? Because I feel like for me and my husband, with our engagement, he was not into it like at all. Like I was in, you know, I'm the one like, okay, did it, and I bring it to him and he's like, whatever you want. How has that been with you and your fiance? Like, are you guys both heavily involved? Okay.
No, luckily, like the way we are and just the way that we, I guess, mesh, like he's very creative in his way. I'm very creative in my way. My background is in television. He runs a creative agency. So, you know, I can produce it. I can tell him exactly what I want, what I'm going for, and and that's just how we work. That's just our flow.
In all aspects.
Like, we just kind of bounce off of each other. And so, like, I have my vision. Of course, he has his vision, his wants. So sometimes it is a little challenging, like, coming to the middle and finding that perfect medium. But, like, we be making some fire stuff, and he be making some fire stuff.
Okay,
so
period.
It's like I love that about our relationship. So I feel like no matter what happens, A, that's my best friend, so we're gonna make it shake, and then B, we're gonna make whatever look like.
Right.
So,
love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
And so you talked a little bit about, like you said, with your background in TV. Let's talk about like your brand and how you got started in the industry.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so my intro to the industry really started young because my dad, he's a gospel jazz artist. His name is Cyrene Tankard.
Okay.
And so he's gotten like Grammy nominations, and we're always at Dove Awards. He did NAACP. So a lot of award shows, a lot Stellar Awards, Gospel Awards, a lot of stuff like that off the early. You know, just being in those rooms, being around those people. He's also a pilot, so he flies private planes. So like just being in those spaces just early. And then of course things kind of really got big. I would think I was a sophomore in high school, and my dad used to do these YouTube videos of us, you know, rather it be our basketball games, volleyball games, whatever, fooling around in the kitchen, him playing the piano, just moments.
Right.
And so my sister, Brooklyn, she packaged up all of those videos and submitted it to a casting agency or a production company that was looking for families. And so from there, they loved us. They came to the house. They shot a pilot. Couple weeks later, you guys are, you know, chosen for this show. We have to do all this preliminary stuff. I had to go to court, get my licensed to minor working and just all this stuff. Like, I didn't think it was going to happen, but it happened. We had 3 amazing seasons on Bravo. It's now available on Peacock. And that was just my intro. And so it followed me going to Howard University. I went to Howard. I majored in public relations, minored in political science, graduated in 2018.
Yes.
My sophomore year at Howard, I started interning for the production company that shot our show. They had an office in Maryland. So I started interning for them. Was like, okay, I need more money because I want to stay here during the summer. I don't want to go back to Murfreesboro. That's where I was raised, brought up. It's just so small there. You're familiar. It's just so small.
Right.
And anyway, so I was like, I need more money. They're like, well, you can try being a PA. So now I'm a production assistant, just running around crazy, but it's paying enough for me to pay for an apartment. And then I'm like, okay, school is coming back in. So I need something in the office and something that's a little more flexible. So then I started working in show development and then casting. So then I became a casting assistant, and I'm, doing all these shows, seeing my name in the credits like, it was cool because it's like I've got this background, experience, and then I got the foreground experience. So I'm doing that. I worked on this movie that was on Netflix. That was a completely separate project. Just doing stuff, staying busy.
Right.
So I graduated from Howard, and then I kind of came to a standstill where it was like, okay, this production life is a lot. Like, very early mornings, very late nights, very demanding. White men talking to me crazy. I don't do that. Like, it's just not giving what it needs to give. So I'm telling my parents, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is something I'm going to, really be able to do. Was having skincare issues, wanted to go to Sephora to get some stuff. Got some Sunday Riley from the lady. She suggested the line. Posted it on Instagram. This is like 2018. They DM me like, hey, like, can we send you the line of, the skincare? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, no one has ever, like, not a brand like this, it's Sephora, has ever, offered to send anything. So from there, I kind of got excited, and then
it kind of sparked
something, and then I already had a little bit of a following,
right?
And so it was just like, let me, like, how can I
work this out?
Right. So then it's like I got my first paid collab from this like hair company in Australia, so random, but from there it was like, oh, the check cleared, like. Yeah. This is a thing. This is like 2018, so I'm like, this is a thing.
Yeah.
And so from there, I just kind of kept going and growing. I dropped a self-help journal. For like young girls. Just like finding yourself, finding your niche, becoming confident in who you are, loving yourself, because that's really the key. And just doing other stuff like that. I wrote a couple of articles for Essence, and just kept getting cooler collabs, better collabs. And then from there till now, just working and going. And, I did just do The Floor. I was on season 2 of The Floor. It's like a game show.
I saw, yes.
That was fun. I'm also talking about another show coming up. So I don't know. We'll see what that looks like. I definitely feel like I can't stay away from the screen, whether it's behind it, in front of it. Like, I always get pulled back in just naturally. So I'm just like letting it flow.
Right. Yeah. No, I love that. And I think like it's good to have you on a podcast too, to shake things up, because let me speak for myself. For me, I feel like I didn't have that direct vision. As far as like, I went from wanting to be one thing to turning into something to now and I'm like, how did I get here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The way your path kind of aligned itself, like what do you think it was, the pouring in? Like, where did that come from as far as just you staying in that space and in that zone? It was just a passion? Did you always just know what you wanted to do?
I think it was really God, honestly. I think that even when, because I still have moments where I'm like, I don't know. And then the next thing you know, I got an email in my inbox or I get a phone call that's like, can you, and it's like, well, here we go. Like, there's the sign that I was, praying for or asking for, just to know, like, am I in the right direction? And am I talking to the right people? Like, am I being exposed in the right ways in these rooms? Like, just really, I feel like, of course, working and creating and staying ready and fresh and available and ready is really big. But also while you're waiting, like I said, like just create, just be consistent. Like even if it's not flowing in the way, because it will flow,
right?
You know, and then the right eyes will see, and they'll be like I can't tell you how many times where I've had a company where I had no idea that they had eyes on me.
Right.
I had no idea that they were considering me, reach out and be like, hey, we want to do da-da-da. And it's like, wow, like, and that's due to you seeing this or someone referring or being like, she was great to work with or whatever the case may be. So I think for me, like, definitely God, because I think he's just overseeing it all.
Yeah. Right.
Watching over it, orchestrating it all. Even, and then when I think like, oh my gosh, I just did, like, God's like, yeah, I already...
Right, I already got that worked out. That's why I tell Amani, I'm like, there's a certain, like, you have a favor on you. Like, when there's favor, like, favor ain't fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair. And there's nothing
Yeah.
you can do to
sure.
run
And the
from
more
that.
you recognize the favor, the more
Yeah.
it's just, you just gonna be like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
Just
When
stuff you never thought would happen or
Just
be
lines
available to you.
So
Like,
true.
Yeah.
No, it's so true. Because that was even just like when I was talking about, like, when I was pregnant, I literally was not putting myself out there at all. Yeah, I still had opportunities. That was when I went on a Breakfast Club. I'm like, how did this happen? I'm laying around, don't feel good, not posting nothing on social media, you know, and those opportunities still came. So I completely definitely understand. What's for you is for you,
and
for sure.
Staying grateful, I feel like.
Absolutely.
Like, God honors that.
For
There's
sure.
something of just the gratitude of, and just one thing in this season too is a little off topic, but in this season too, like, it has been a very waiting season for me. And I feel like in the past, I didn't handle that waiting season well. And it's almost like a report card. I feel like God was like, yeah, I can't give you that check mark yet.
Not yet.
So I can't release that because you don't really know how to act.
You're not ready for
And
it.
I need to know, because the levels are just going to just
Keep
get
going
higher
up.
each
Yeah, for
time.
sure.
So it's like you're going to face new challenges on each level. Are you gonna how you gonna act when you get to the next level and you know 100 million up, but you just had a bad day with X, Y, and Z? I need to know that you'll be sober.
Yeah.
I need to know that I can trust you.
That's just stay faithful to the calling.
The continual favor and abundance that I will bestow upon your life. So
Yes.
No, I love
Yes.
that.
like, let me pass the test, because it's like every time I pass that test, it's like he's like, here you go.
Right, level
Here's your level up, and it's like, okay, let me just trust you, because like I do not know what I be doing, but you my manager, you my agent, you my publicist, you my everything. So
Trust you and stay obedient.
Oh my gosh, obedience.
For sure.
That part
for
be
sure.
hard sometimes.
I know.
Hard. Like,
but it's necessary.
We talked about it a lot, just how this podcast came about. I was like, this is like, I tell her all the time, I'm so thankful for your yes. Like, the yes that you gave to being like she literally texted me, was like, God, you know, like, I've been dreaming about this podcast, and for some reason, like, you're the only person I could think of. And then I was telling her, I was like, girl, well, I wrote a podcast, you know, years ago.
Alignment.
And then,
for sure.
and here you are texting me, and I was telling her, like, the pastor preached about 2 weeks ago, like, something you've been sitting on, you're supposed to do, you got to go now. And she texted me 2 days later. And then I look back at my notes, and that very same day in my notes, I had wrote, like, thank you, God, for this vision of this podcast. And I'm like, God,
it was like it was like exactly.
it was like
a
the
couple
dates
years.
had like lined up, but it was a 4-year almost gap. And it's like, when I thought I was ready to jump, I didn't jump, you know? And then it took 4 years of him being like, okay, I need you to go. I need to press play on this vision, because there's clearly something we got to get out there. So I love to hear that you just trusting God, being obedient to what he's saying. So, girl, I'm ready to see where you're going.
Okay, me too, girl. Me too.
Okay, exactly. I feel like another thing when it comes to, and for me personally, like with relationships or just with life in general, and like being in that public eye space, how do you handle, like, are you a private person? Like, can you even be private when it comes to like being in that space? Like, how do you handle, you know, the lights and then keeping that boundary of like what you keep private as well?
Yeah, I think a couple of things. A part of being a content creator, a storyteller, is knowing how to curate the story, how to tell the story. You know what to exclude, you know what to include, you know, and also, again, being God-led. Like, is this something I should release right now? Am I going to be ready for whatever kickback this is?
Yeah.
But also, too, you know, you have to know where you're at. You have to be honest with yourself. Like, yeah, there may be a couple of trolls that may say whatever about whatever, but realistically, on the grand scheme, like it's not like I'm, on the blogs, Krishan style or whatever.
Okay.
Like, it's not like the eyes are that. It's like I know eyes are on me, but I'm also aware of the level of the eyes, so maybe I would get away. But anyways, you always want to be right and tight.
No, for sure.
So for me, it's like it doesn't, and it's because being on a television and have so many eyes so young, I think I've just really developed like a thick skin. I think also just the things that I've been through in this life, it's like you just learn to develop thicker skin. And at the end of the day, like I said, I love myself.
Yeah.
So
with that, I do have a question. You are like, social media can be a lot. Have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? Like where you feel like you were just losing yourself or anything like that?
Yeah, there's definitely been times that I have felt that way. And I think going back to it again, I think really just, and even through the difficulty, like just knowing I have a rock. And I think that's kind of why in the last 2 years, losing friends, to them passing away, career, not necessarily family drama, different things like that, it really can send you into, especially when things are like back to back to back to back to back to back. That be where it's like, oh my God. But I think, I don't know, I've really mastered over the past year just like back to back, whatever, like it's gonna work out. All things are gonna come together for my good. So it's almost a little delulu. But I feel like the most successful people in the world are delulu. We have to be delulu.
Yeah.
There's a level of delulu that needs to be involved in the mix.
Yeah.
In order for you to continue on. I think especially because it's two sides of handling things. It's the side where you let it consume you, or the side where you take authority over whatever is happening, and you tell it what you about to do.
Yeah.
What it's about.
Okay. Exactly.
Right. Because it's a delusion for real.
Me. So ain't nothing gonna run me. So we're gonna take authority over whatever it is, and we're gonna walk through it.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be that. We're gonna come out triumphant, even if it is 4 years.
Yeah.
Even if it is whatever. And I think that's just the mentality and the attitude you have to have, especially as an entrepreneur. So
yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what does, on your journey with engagement, how is your family, like I know you're really close with your mom. So how is that as far as just like, do you feel any pressures from like fans or family or anybody to, I don't know, move your journey on along, or maybe to start a family or anything like that? Like, how do you see that?
Yeah, I mean, luckily for my mom and I personally, like, she's not pressing me for real. Like, if anything, I wanted her to press me more. You know what I'm saying? So, she not really pressing me. She is supportive. But my mom, too, she has a lot going on. Like, that woman is a multifaceted boss.
Okay.
Like, that woman, you know what I'm saying? Yes. So she has a lot to juggle herself. And then, I mean, our family is supportive. So if anything, because the family, everybody in the family, everybody that needs to know knows what's going on. But for the fans and for the strangers who are like, where's my invite? Or when is the date? Or you've been shacking up with your, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's just kind of like, y'all not in it.
Yeah.
And those are not the type of followers I really want either. So it's like, I mean, you can kick rocks.
Yeah.
No, for sure. For sure. And so you guys do a lot of traveling.
Yes.
How does that, because I'm like, Lord, I wish I could get me a little trip in. I mean, yes. I mean, like, so is that something, do you have like a goal as far as like, okay, I'm going to take a certain amount of trips a year? Because I know one of my friends, Anana, she'll be like, I'm going to take a trip every month, and I'm like, okay, girl, period. Put it on the calendar. Is that something that you feel like, because maybe that's something we need to adapt, because I feel like we've been talking about this link up. We need to just say we're going to do it and do it. We say that, but we got all these kids, and we got to figure out.
Let me tell you something. I'll go.
We'll see. So what? As far as like your like career and balancing being a fiance and also traveling, is that something that's a priority for you?
Yeah, traveling is a priority. It'll always be a priority. Our love story, I feel like, is deeply embedded in travel.
Especially getting engaged in Dubai. Okay?
Yeah, it's like that's just honestly, it just started as kind of like a birthday thing. Like every year, you know, you pick where you want to go for your birthday, and then you know, for my birthday, I'll pick where I want to go.
Okay,
and
I love that.
Kind of do that type of thing, and then it just kind of turned into more and more, and just like trying to go to places we both haven't been before, give each other those experiences. I do a lot of hotel collaborations and hotel reviews.
I love that.
So, you know, you figure out a way to, you
gotta make it work.
Make it work for
for sure.
Involved.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah, and it's just, that's just our, like, refresh, reset button. Like, that's us. Like, we gotta do it. We gotta have it. We have literally filmed almost every single trip, all of the drama, all of the chaos, all of the adventures. So we're trying to put it together and put it on the tube for the people. So that's definitely something y'all can, you know, check
I love
in
it.
on that.
Okay, exactly. We're going to hold you. That's what I was just about to say. We're going to hold you accountable for that. And I love that, because that's one thing that I'm looking forward to, like my kids getting older. That's why I'm done. Ain't no more kids coming out of me, because I'm looking forward to just having a more relaxed, do what I want to do type trip, you know? And then, listen, and I respect it. I respect it, because that was another thing I was going to say. I don't know, you know, I have friends who don't have kids, and I'm like, girl, I don't know what that's like. I've been a parent since I was 20. I've never been able to just take a nap. I mean, I can't say never, but I'm just saying, like, I was so young that when I had a kid, like, I don't know what it's like to just get up and go travel and book a trip and then just be outside next week, you know? So, and I think that I love the fact that you have so much support and, like, you're really close with your mom, because I think that that does make a difference in how you love yourself and how you set those boundaries to just be like goal oriented and goal driven. Because I didn't, you know, I just didn't know. I just feel like I spent so much of my life just not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing my worth, not knowing what I wanted, not knowing all of these things. And it's like, parents, you know, that's a thing that I feel like I'm doing with my kids. It's like just making sure that you love you know your self-worth, you love yourself. And then just like, not like talking to them about, you know, the do's and don'ts, like having those conversations. You know, I love my mama, but every parent is not into having those tough conversations. You know, they maybe think that you're just gonna figure it out, and it's like that's not always the case. You know, so I definitely think that plays a big role in just.
I think so. And I definitely try to do my best to, like, open to my kids. Like, I was like, okay, they all got to have passports. As soon as, you know what I'm saying? So, like, my kids, you know, they all got their passports and we go places. But I feel like as a mom, and we both had kids by the time we was 20. So, like, for me, I was so young. You know, like we were in college.
Yeah, we didn't get to do nothing.
We didn't have.
So I'm living through you for sure. I'm living. I'm like
city for spring break, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't nothing big, but me and my husband, I'll say we've been very intentional doing as best we can, going places, and because it's like this year for my birthday, we went to DR. Well, we've been to DR before, but I was like, take me anywhere.
No, you just gotta go.
I gotta go, and we literally slept. Every day. We woke up at 12,
you gotta do
noonish, went by the pool. We didn't do anything. We didn't do nothing but just, like, eat, sleep.
See, she gonna end up with a 50. See me? I'm good. But I love when I meet other women who are like intentional about that. Who is like, no, I know that this is not what I want. Because I just think it's so funny because people be trying to act like they don't know how babies are made. Like, you know how babies are made, okay? You know that, you know. We're clear. So anyways, I just love that. I got another homegirl who was very intentional with her process as well. So
take your time.
For sure.
Take your time. I'm so like she just said, like I love that you're intentional, that you know what you want to do. Get it all out.
Because you know, it will change. And then like when it does change, I guess I don't even know if you've even thought about that. Like, how does that change? It really just be like you just bring the kids on the trip with you and stuff.
I think it'll be a balance of both. I think I definitely want to expose my children to travel, the luxuries in life, for sure. But I think there will also be times where it's like, this is for mommy and daddy.
No, for sure.
You gotta have that balance.
This is for that.
You have to.
So, you know, I think a healthy balance of both. And I think also, accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
So just setting it up in a way to where everything can flow seamlessly. And it may not be. I'm not looking for perfection,
Right.
but I am looking for structure.
Structure.
Structure is a big thing.
It's not gonna be Lil Nuck is up at 2 a.m. It's not like we have structure. Your bedtime is here. Now it's time for us to have our
about
time.
That last episode.
Like those are because these are just things I also watch my other friends or family members who have children, and I'm watching and I'm listening to the complaints and to the and it's like, okay, like I have to put certain things in order to where this is not yet.
And it's a learning curve. So like you'll know exactly what to do, and then once you start doing it, you'll be like, wait a minute, it's easier just to put you in a bed with me. It's easier for you to stay up, but like stick to your guns. Don't deviate because you got in it now and it's easier to just put them in it. No.
We gotta put that structure. You got time.
And so I was looking at your hair. Give me, what's your favorite hair product right now? Is this a twist out or is this a blowout?
This is an old twist out.
It looks so good.
It's an old twist out. Thank you.
What's maybe your favorite hair product? I'm a big fan of Aunt Jackie's, but I've been trying to like.
People talk a lot of crap about Cantu.
Yeah.
Their leave-in curl conditioning cream.
Oh, it's good.
Is like I swear by it. Also, the Do Girl products, I partner with them a lot.
Okay.
But I be telling people the key to the hair growth be the grease. Lay it on there when you got your braids in, and leave them braids in for 3 months, sis. It's okay. It's okay. You got new growth. That's the point. And then when you take your braids out, take your time.
Yeah.
Don't just cut it and pull the hair out.
Right. I've seen some too where somebody was like, take your braids out in the shower. Have you seen it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, y'all seen it? They were like,
that's gonna mat your hair.
They were like that. I haven't done it, but I did see it on social media because they was like, it makes it not shed so much. I guess when you take out the braids,
match your hair.
It's so many different kinks and turns and all.
Also, it's texture.
Definitely,
process,
for sure.
All of that is
for sure.
Certain people who are like, what should I do? I'm like braids, they make my hair break, and I'm like, okay, so then braids are not for you, or you might need a protein treatment, or you might need to do the twists because your hair may be too fine. I know girls with their hair that's really fine, yes, they might not be for you because it's tugging. So
for sure,
it's
different for everybody, for sure. And so before we wrap this up, let's just talk about like what's next. I know you kind of said already, you guys, you're trying to do the vlog. You've got some TV shows in the works. Where can we like keep up with you? Do you have a website?
I do have a website.
Okay.
But it does need to be updated.
Okay.
So keep up with me on Instagram at Cyrene Lovette, Cyrene Lovette. TikTok, I love it over there.
Okay. I'm not a TikTok girl. I
think I knew that because I put out a TikTok preference once and you just
I'm not a TikTok girl.
And I was like, dang, she doesn't speak TikTok.
I don't.
It's definitely a learning curve. It's definitely like trial and error. But that's how I feel about social media overall. It's just trial and error.
For sure.
Just have fun with it.
No, gotta have fun.
So
okay. And then before we get out, I know we normally close it out with some inspiration. Maybe if you could like, what is something that you would tell like the ambitious, young woman who maybe is navigating love, career, and entering into the next phase of life, like what is something, or maybe even something you would tell your younger self, what is something that you would share?
Tell my younger self? Oh, y'all, I have to look at the camera for this one. No, something I would tell my younger self is relax. Calm down. All the anxiety and the worries, just relax. And also buy Bitcoin.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Buy some stock with all this money that you're making right now. Go ahead and put some of that away so that you can and just be more knowledgeable. Invest in yourself. Be patient with yourself. Forgive yourself. And go after it all. Just even scared. Just go after it. Even if it just seems like, I don't know. Don't always tell people what you got going on. Choose, learn, and pick the people to talk to. Always go to God. Put Him first. He's gonna guide your path and make it straight every single time. But relax.
Relax.
Take a breath.
Yeah. So I'll take
I've been doing yoga lately. That's been helping me with my breath and everything.
Take a breath. Take a
I'm
beat.
getting into it. Yes.
Release.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining
I
us,
so enjoyed
Cyrene.
you.
Yes, good positive energy. Love it.
A ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Period. Okay.
The palette.
Yes. But thank you for joining us. We will be back next week with another episode of College Mom Dropouts. Oh wait, subscribe. That's
comment.
your cue.
Like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna be everywhere. So
Yes.